The NBA playoff begins this weekend, and we could not be more excited. We are here to break out everything within the first round. I'm Dean Frank. Welcome back here with the second half of Chalk Talk Sports. We are so back. Oscar, how you doing?
Good, man. It's good to be back for sure. It's been a long week, but being on the pod with you just brings back only good emotions. So let's have some fun, man. Let's
Let's
let's have a
go.
good podcast and let's pick them out.
Let's go. Real ones know all the lore, so it's awesome. But sweet, yeah, nothing better than talking ball with the boys. So let's get right into it. Obviously, we are filming this Thursday night, so Friday is the last couple games of the play-in tournament. With the Grizzlies and the Mavs and the Heat and the Hawks. Honestly, for me, that doesn't change much with my seedings, so I think it's fine for us to just go at it as we can. Let's start. Let's start right in the West. It's perfect to start in the West. West is so stacked, man. Obviously, both of us being home in Cali, and it's just like not that that has anything to do with it, but just the West is so much more stacked than the East. So I feel like we should start there, and let's get right into it. So we got the number one OKC Thunder versus either the Mavs or the Grizzlies. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I do think this series will be more competitive if the Grizzlies end up beating the Mavericks. I could honestly see OKC winning in six, the Grizzlies giving them a little trouble just because they're a pesty team. We saw it in the play-in. Nothing was really given to the Warriors besides the jaw injury. Prayers up. Hope he can play 100% in the next playing game. But yeah, ultimately, I think this Thunder team has proven it this entire season. They are ready for the moment, especially to get out of the first round. So right now, regardless, I'm going to say Thunder in five just to call it even because I think they'd sweep the Mavericks and I think the Grizzlies would give them a little trouble. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm on a similar lore there. I think, it definitely depends on how well Jaw is to play. It was funny, like watching that game with you when he just popped a couple of those perks and then he was able to just come back and play like nothing was
so
happening. But
crazy. Yeah.
I don't, I mean, I'm assuming he's playing. I haven't seen anything about him being out. So either way, I'm going to have the Thunder in five. I think, we saw the team be inexperienced last year and kind of get dropped out of the playoffs early on. I think this year is a different year. I mean, they're still a young team, but obviously a couple new additions to the team and having the best record in the league. Um, Look, we'll say this. I'm not going to say I think I have them win it all, but, it's the first round. And if we're just focusing on the first round today in this pod, I'm going to say Thunder in five, no matter who they're playing. So Thunder move on. I think we are both obviously set on that. Obviously, as well, guys, we are going to kind of see what differences we have with each matchup. And then by the end of the round one of the playoffs, see who, predicted it better and maybe come up with some fun new thing to give to the winner. But sweet. So going into the second game, we got the 4 seed Nuggets playing the 5 seed Clippers. I'll go first just because you went first last time. I
Please.
am taking, drum roll please. I'm taking the Clippers. I'm taking the Clippers in 7. I
Wow.
think I think the Clippers have a lot of depth. I think they're somehow kind of being underdogs when, they're a 50 win season type of team. I mean, again, obviously all these like 3 through 8 seeds really in the West are all like within 1 or 2 games of each other. So there isn't like much different regular season vibes there, but I think, we'll finally see Kawhi and James Harden both healthy in the playoffs. Obviously Kawhi was hurt last year, and if they can stay healthy, I think the Clippers are the team to beat in the West because there is just a lot of depth there and there's a lot of experience. And then going on to the Nuggets side, which obviously I kind of got to give my explanation. I'm not saying I think Jokic is going to shy away from anything under, averaging 30-point triple double this series, but we kind of saw it this year. Like there were multiple games, including the 60-point triple double that they weren't even able to win. And I just think something is going down. Something is going on with the Nuggets. I mean, obviously they fired their coach Mike Malone like with a week left into the playoffs. It just feels like some drama is happening there, and I don't think this is the year for the Nuggets. I think they're going to get bounced out early.
I like that take. I can't lie. Um, that being said, I mean, it's hard to root against the Nuggets. I think. I mean, when you have the best player in the world, who has consistently been averaging a triple double like the last 3 years, shows no sign of regression. Just having him, I mean, it's almost the only like comparison I could think of. It's like having LeBron on the Cavs in the East Coast 6 years ago. You know what I mean? Those teams were terrible, but the fact that they had LeBron just like elevated everybody else's game so much. And I also think, Harden and Kawhi. Kawhi's been coming back. Harden's been having a great season himself. That being said, like these guys are old. I wouldn't be surprised if a key piece on the Clippers gets injured. Pray to God that they don't. But, these are things that happen, especially when these older guys are playing more and more minutes, more than they're used to in the regular season. I do have the Nuggets, and I have them in a comfortable 6. Probably
Okay.
5, but we'll throw in a game out of respect for your take because I did like it. But Nugs and 6, I think they take
Yeah.
care of the job pretty easy.
I'm not just like preying on the Nuggets downfall, because obviously they beat the Lakers the past couple of years. I just think, it's something weird going on with the team this year. It's like we really thought after their championship run, like we thought the Nuggets had a dynasty incoming, and it doesn't seem like that. I mean,
Yeah.
regular season, like, you got to beat this team in 7 games. So like when you have Jokic on the team, obviously anything is possible. I just think another really weird stat is Jokic has never played with an all-star on his team, like a current all-star on his team. Like Jamal Murray hasn't been an all-star. Michael Porter Jr. hasn't been an all-star. Westbrook, is out of his prime. Like as much as we think the Nuggets have a good team, like it is kind of Jokic carrying, and that's just something to look at. But okay, so there it is. We have one opposite take type. I mean, mine is definitely a hot take. It'd be crazy to see the Nuggets get bounced out first round, but don't say I didn't tell you so.
But I
If it
mean, it's
doesn't,
gonna be a good series. Jokic has also got the highest offensive rating this year, 125.6. Better than Garland, better than SGA. That being said, like it's gonna be a battle. I just think for some reason they're gonna find a way to like edge out these close games. I think every
yeah.
game's gonna be close, but I think it's a coin toss when it comes to the end of the game, and I trust the best player in the league. So
Yep. No, cannot argue with that. Okay, moving on. So obviously we have one similar take and then one different take for this third matchup. I'm gonna like this one. It is the Lakers, the 3rd seed, against the Timberwolves, 6th seed. Who do you got?
T-Wolves in 7. Nah, I can't
Nah.
even. No, dude. The T-Wolves are washed. That was a bad trade, I think. I think it's gonna like show evidently in the playoffs. Julius Randle, he's probably been averaging, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but him and Kat have probably been doing similar things throughout the regular season. But Julius Randle in the playoffs, man, that is not a guy I trust. I think Ants is also having kind of like a CJ Stroud almost, like not a regression year per se, but just like there hasn't been as much talk about Ant as there was last season. I know he's still an all-star level player, but at the same time, you're going against LeBron James and Luka Doncic. So honestly, I have the Lakers winning in 5. Probably would be a sweep, but they're probably going to just rest at least LeBron out of, just to get him some rest days. But like, I could totally see a sweep here, to be honest.
Yeah, you got me there for a second. I was about to be pissed, but no, I mean, like bias aside, I really do think that the Lakers are going to win this within 5. Shout out Shannon Sharp, but it's just like you really compare the Lakers' big 3 to anyone in the league, but like let's just compare what the
Who's
Timberwolves
3?
with.
Reeves?
Yeah, dude, come on. Reeves is playing like an all-star this year. You got to look at the numbers. He's been averaging 20 like ever since Luka. But yeah, like
Yeah,
if we
I
compare
guess when you have two of the top 10 best players in the league and you throw in like a top 50 guy, it's like nice big 3. That's a duo. Come on. I
okay,
get
it's
it.
a duo, but I'm just saying, like if we put
Whatever.
the Lakers' best 3 against the Timberwolves' best 3,
Okay.
obviously
Yeah.
other than Ant, there's a huge drop off. Like who's there 2? Is it Julius Randle? Is it Jaden McDaniels, like they have a good starting five. It's just like I don't think it's comparable. And something that we really have to look at within this playoffs is just matchups because the Lakers like to play small ball, like so do the Warriors. So it's just like, in a way, having the Timberwolves having Rudy Gobert there, like they honestly might have to sit him a bit because who's Gobert gonna guard? Like LeBron plays the five sometimes, and like we saw what Luka did to Gobert. He had the game winner against Gobert in the it wasn't last year. It was COVID year, I believe. In the Was that last year? Dude, that might have been last year when the Mavs dropped off the Timberwolves. Either way, nothing against Ant. I definitely agree with what you're saying. I mean, it feels like somewhat he had kind of a drop off year, but I think that's just because people were talking so highly about him. It's like Ant is the next face of the league. Like this is the next guy. I'm not saying he can't be, but you're not going to be until you win. And I know Ant is the type of bro to like live for these moments. Like him facing up against LeBron in round one. Like, there's no one more that wants it. There's no one that wants it more than him. But I think the Lakers just have too much depth. I think JJ Redick, being a rookie, is like one of the best coaches in the league already. And we can talk more about it later. But I'm gonna go Lakers in 5, and then moving to our last matchup in the West. This one hits home for you. We got the 2 seed Rockets facing the 7 seed Warriors. Do you want me to start or do you want to go?
Go ahead. You can start. Why don't you
Okay.
just start us off?
It's this one isn't going to be as exciting as you'd hope for because I am taking the Warriors. I'm taking the Dubs. Um, you call it an upset. I mean, they are a 7 seed beating a 2 seed in the Rockets, but just looking like let's just look from a general standpoint. Sure, the Rockets had a great regular season, 2 in a super tough seed West. They had a great year and there's no discounting that. But this is the playoffs, man. Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler now, like the Warriors just have so much playoff experience. They have champions on their team. Steve Kerr is, one of the best coaches in the league. And when you face a team like the Rockets, who in some ways I kind of see like comparable as to the Thunder from last year, who were, a great team, but just too inexperienced. And when you're in the playoffs, it's like half of the Rockets starting lineup in, Sengun, Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, like these guys have never been in the playoffs before. Like I know, sure, they have good defense. Like I'm pretty sure they locked up Curry a couple weeks ago, but it's like this is the playoffs, man, and I would be shocked to see if the Warriors lost. To be honest, I'm gonna have them in like I want to say 5. I'll say 6 just because of the good regular season that the Rockets had, but I don't think like this shouldn't even be an upset pick in my opinion.
I appreciate your vote of confidence, and I think the book is with you too. The Warriors are right now favored to win the series, but yeah, I mean, you saw like playoff Jimmy now starts in the play-in, man. Like Curry and Butler combined for 75. Like, I get it. I get there's this new meta kind of to like face guard Curry, which is effective, but you got to take into account there's a bunch of other dogs on the Warriors now that have been stepping in the roles, like even like Pods. I really hope Kuminga is getting some minutes. I'm not sure what the situation is with that, but Pods, GP2, the Postman, like all these guys are averaging around 10 points a game in the last 20 games. You know what I mean? They're stepping up, they're playing their role. So it's like if you put that much attention on Curry, there's going to be someone open. And let's like, I know I already brought it up, but like we cannot discount at all playoff Jimmy. Like it's been a while. He's on a really good team. Matchup I'm really excited to look out for though is Sengun versus Green. Um, yeah, I like the Warriors are not that big of a team, in all honesty, and I think Sengun is a really good basketball player. I think Draymond is smarter than him though. That just comes with aging like fine wine in the NBA. So we'll see what happens. I think if Draymond thinks clearly, this should be Warriors in 6 easily, but this very could come down to game 7. Another heartbreak in Houston, though, unfortunately, for the Rockets. But yeah, regardless, I got Warriors. for sure.
That would be wild. Yeah, I mean, Draymond just got to stay out of foul trouble, man. I think that's his
Yes.
big thing, and can't get ejected in the playoffs. I mean, it's a different breed. Yeah. Before we move on, I just want to say again, like, we can't discredit what the Rockets did, though. Like, I don't think they've been in the playoffs since like the Harden years, and for them to be second in like the West, it's pretty cool to see. Like, so, like the Rockets, the Pistons, like it really is starting to become the new age of NBA basketball. So it's cool to see these new teams hammer in there. Okay, sweet.
100%. And one thing before we continue,
Yep.
just reading this funny stat. Since the 96-97 season, every team that has won the NBA Finals has finished top 8 in net rating in the regular season. This season's top 8 in net rating are Thunder, Celtics, Cavs, T-Wolves, Clippers, Grizzlies, Rockets, Knicks.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so
Both
maybe
teams.
it's time for that to come to an end, and I'm hoping Lakers or Warriors are right behind on that 9-10 seed right there. You know what I mean? Or tied for eighth. But funny how we've already rooted out pretty much half of those teams, and I think another half is about to get rooted out right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the East.
Let's get into the East. We'll start from the top. We got the 1 seed Cavs, which is just weird to see again, without LeBron. And it's like, it feels like the Celtics are obviously the powerhouse, but it's like the Cavs had an insane season, man. I mean, Donovan Mitchell got something cooking up in there in Ohio, but the Cavs are going to play either the Heat or the Hawks. Um, like again, this doesn't change too much for me. I think the Hawks just got to be the middest team like ever, bro. It's like
Yeah.
every single year they're within 500 coming out of the play-in. Like Trey Young is doing whatever he can to carry his team on his back, but I think he got to get out of there. It'd be cool to see him to be on like more of a contending team because I think the Hawks actually lose this, even though being a higher seed. I think the Heat win. I like the Heat. I mean, I know obviously they lost Jimmy, but they still got some good talent there. Tyler Hero, now and Andrew Wiggins too, which I honestly haven't been able to watch him too much on the Heat. But I like the Heat winning, but honestly, this is going to be my first sweep of the playoffs. I'm gonna take the Cavs winning in 4.
Honestly, I'm so right there with you. Like, I don't see how any team in the first round, whether it's the Hawks or the Heat, even gets like remarkably like close to winning a game. Like, this Cleveland team is stacked, man. They match up so well. It's like you want to talk about top 3. Let's put the best 5 guys on the Cavs versus the best 5 guys. It's like every single position the Cavaliers have a mismatch. You know what I mean? And like D Mitch, man, he's gonna show us why he is the real deal this playoffs, man. Like this is going to be an awesome, an awesome series. I mean, not series, playoffs to watch him thrive on a team where he's finally got a good supporting cast. Like, whew, I feel like I don't know why. He's kind of just giving me Dame time vibes without the playoffs even starting, but that guy can go off for like 60
Yeah.
any night. Like I'm thrilled. I'm going to be watching in every single Cavs game regardless because he's just such an entertaining player to watch.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I remember him playing back in the bubble. It was like him
Yeah.
and against like those Jamal Murray games were crazy. He can really put up 50 whenever. And I
Yeah.
think you talked a little bit about the depth with the Cavs. I think this is kind of just the year of just shying away from those super teams. It's like you saw with the Suns. Like it doesn't work having like these superstars and then not being able to fill in the rest of your team with some depth. I mean, you see it with the Thunder, you see it with the Cavs. Like these players fit the role perfectly, and the Cavs were able to, with the addition of DeAndre Hunter from the Hawks, like he's a perfect 3-and-D type of guy, and I think they just fit so well together. I think they probably have one of the best front courts in the league with Jared Allen and Mobley. Mobley's a star. Mobley is a star. I'm excited to watch Mobley play as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty chalk. I would be very surprised if the Cavs don't win it by within 4 or 5 games. But
This
okay,
team is they're just so stacked, man. I'm just like taking a look at their roster right now. I mean, you got like we just to say a couple names: Spida, Mobley, Garland, Jared Allen in one starting lineup. On top of that, you got bench support from Max Struess, um, Javonte Green, DeAndre Hunter, like, oh my God, Isaac Okoro, like, what? Like Tristan Thompson. I know he's old, but like he's been on the Cavs for longer than I think anyone can remember. And it's like, man, that might be the most loaded roster in the NBA. Probably is. You
Yeah.
can't discount OKC, but they're young. Like this, wow, that is a really freaking good Cavaliers team right there.
I think I know this is kind of taking a minute, but like I would love to just go through the whole playoffs if you're down, and we can kind of just do a little quicker, just like while we're at
Right.
it, because I
Yeah.
do have like more up. I feel like round one, we might not have the crazier upsets. This next game is kind of it's kind of a 50-50. We have the 4 seed in the Pacers, 5 seed in the Bucks. I'm gonna take the Bucks here. I'm gonna take Giannis, the Greek freak. Greek freak. Last year he was not healthy in the playoffs, which sucks because people kind of forget. I mean, Giannis is a top 3 player in the league. No questions at all. He's a top 3 player in the league. I know Dame is injured. I think there is a good shot that he comes back towards the second half of this matchup, depending on how far it gets. I like the Pacers. I don't think Halliburton's a star. I don't think he plays too well in the playoffs. I think last year he averaged under 20, and it's just like in the playoffs, you got to become that guy. It seems like they don't really have that guy in Halliburton. And, it's kind of weird to say, but I think the Bucks win this in 7. I think it's a lot closer than people think. And I mean, that it's just experience, and Giannis hasn't really been in a deep playoff run in a couple of years. And I just wouldn't be surprised if this is the year he kind of gets back into that conversation.
Yeah. And Giannis has had such a phenomenal season, man. And it's gone like so under the radar just because Milwaukee's small market.
Right.
But I mean, I honestly put him number 2 in the MVP conversation. I guess no, because they are the 5 seed. But I mean, stat wise, the other day, just a
Over
casual
Jokic or over Shea?
over Shea. But I can't say that because Shea is they've got the best, they won the West, which is way harder than the East. Anyways, stat wise though, like the other day, I think we said something in the chat, like Giannis had like 50, 20, and 20. Just cash. You know what I mean? Like that's just like showing up on my feed. Like if Jokic is doing that or any other really star player, like that's everywhere. That's everywhere. But Giannis has quietly been having an amazing season as he always does. I do really think this is going to come down to Dame. If you're just looking at the depth chart for the Pacers, you got Halliburton, Nemhard, who's no joke, Siakam, and Miles Turner. That's a solid 4. And, Giannis is kind of like Thanos in this situation. It's versus the Avengers. So it's like, let's see what happens. But I think if Dame comes back, depending on what version of Dame we get, the Bucks could win. That being said, I am going to go with the Pacers. Almost
Make
the
it
same thing I
interesting.
was saying about Giannis is like the Pacers are a really small market team too. They're good. You know what I mean? They're a good basketball team. There are some good teams in the East, and they're the 4 seed for a reason. So I got to go with my gut right now, and I love Giannis, but it's not always about who's got the best player. It's about who's got the best team. So
Yeah, no, I honestly that's a good take. Just like we were literally just talking about depth and like the year of the role player. Also the Pacers have Benedict Mathurin. I'm pretty sure he was hurt last year in the playoffs.
it's a
He's a
great
very
job.
good 2-way player. So
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't be surprised. I think this is definitely a series to look at, and I would not be surprised at all if it goes to 7. But I'm kind of glad, we have a different pick there, so we can look back at it and be like, one of us will be right. Sweet. Moving on. Second last matchup in the East, we got the 3 seed in the Knicks. Shout out Declan, and the 6 seed in the Pacers. It still just looks weird to see the Pacers in the playoffs. Like what? I mean, they've been one of the.
Pistons.
Oh my God, sorry, I'm tripping. Yeah, the Pistons. That's how weird it feels because this team, growing up. I mean, obviously I hear stories of like the bad boy Pistons back in the day, and like they were obviously like tough and a team that no one wanted to play against. But in the past maybe decade, like they've always been, one of the top lottery teams and whatnot. And I think Cade Cunningham he's definitely that guy. I mean, he could be up there for like first team all NBA, which is crazy to say, but he could be. That being said, I know there has been a lot of hate against the Knicks this year, just them not being able to beat some of these bigger teams in the East, with the Cavs and the Celtics. I think they haven't won one game, which obviously is not a good stat going into the playoffs when they're definitely going to have to face one of these teams. That being said, I just can't see them losing, multiple games in Madison Square Garden. I think the Knicks fans obviously like one of the biggest franchises out there, and for them to lose in the first seed would just be such a bad look for the franchise. Obviously after kind of creating that team, and they probably have the best starting five in the league with Cat at five. That might be crazy, but like name wise, right? Like I think these five guys like play the role
Casual wise is what
perfectly.
you're saying, bro.
Maybe so, but like you look at the stat with like Thibodeau, and I'm not sure if this stat has like kind of decreased like as we've gone halfway through the season, but their five starters play like five of them on their own play more than anyone else in the league, like top like 7 or 8, at least top 10. Like all five of their starters are top 10 in the league in minutes wise, when healthy. And as good of a thing that is, like it also shows that they have no depth after their starting five. And I really think that's going to hurt them later into the playoffs. We can talk about that later if we get there. But it would be crazy for me if the Pistons moved on into the second round of the playoffs. I just think it's another type of thing where they're too young, and maybe next year.
Huh.
Do it.
The last time the Pistons made the playoffs?
Like it has to be before I was born.
No. But
Really?
not bad guess. They actually made it 2018, 2019, got swept by the Bucks first round. But before that,
I'm
the
a
first
casual.
time the last time they were in the playoffs was 2009.
Okay.
Their record last year 14-68,
Last year.
which is the worst record for a team to make the playoffs the following season in NBA history.
That's awesome. I love that. I think that's great.
I think this team, I love this team, man.
Oh my God.
I love this team. And I think this is probably the most popular. This reminds me of picking UC San Diego over Michigan in the first round of March Madness. This has got upset written all over it. Like, give me the Pistons, man.
Wow.
Like, this Knicks team has just been like beat on. Like, nobody's really, you're right. On paper, this is a great freaking team. But I don't know. I just think the young, hungry Bulls are like, not Bulls, Pistons. These guys are Bulls, though. Are just going to come out and do their thing. I mean, Brunson is obviously the best player on the court, but like Cade Cunningham, man. I think the last time we did a podcast was maybe picking all-star teams. Stand by that. He's even gotten better. Dude. He might be the best player on the court. Low-key, I'm just going to say it. I got Pistons in 6. I got the Pistons in 6. I think somebody on this Knicks team is prone to getting injured. And this team, it's just a generational run. Like, if anyone's going to come out from a 14-68 season and make the playoffs, and not even that, make the 6 seed, you know what I mean? Avoid the play-in completely. Like, it's going to be this team. And I think they're just matched up so well against the Knicks. And honestly, like in our generation, it's just like typical Knicks. You know what I mean? Like the story wouldn't be the craziest thing ever if the Knicks got bounced first round. Yeah, I think everyone's kind of just been. I think there's too much talent on the floor, and there's not enough like star talent. You think about like Curry, KD, Clay, and Draymond. You know what I mean? Curry, and KD. KD was 1A, Curry 1B. You know what I mean? But then you have like Clay, who's like 2C, and then Draymond 2D. Like all these guys, Brunson, Bridges, Cat, like all of them are very like on the same tier. You know what I mean? There's no like that guy. Like I guess Brunson, but like
Yeah.
not by a lot. Not by a
Brunson
lot.
by a lot, and then they're put even Anunoby, maybe Hart when he's playing decent. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I think to me, it's just it would be crazy to see the Pistons win in a 7-game type of series. I definitely think they can get a game or two, and in Detroit, that atmosphere is going to be amazing. I mean, they've probably been waiting on this, forever, but it would definitely be a huge type of, we see in college basketball, the Cinderella story, and like this was the year of chalk. I would be very shocked, honestly. I would be shocked, but I like the take, man. I love the take, honestly.
I just
Um,
like, yeah, I don't know. I can see it. I can see it.
Sheesh, we are 30 minutes in. If you're still listening, we appreciate you. I mean, we're kind of just yapping, talking ball, but why not? If you're still listening, make sure to follow, subscribe. Lots of more content coming. Sweet. I mean, do we keep going? Oh wait, we got one more matchup. Oof, the Celtics. No biasy there, but we got the
That
2 seed Celtics playing the 7 seed in the Magic. Shout out Tristan Da Silva. Um, I'll talk about the Magic real quick because I do think this is an exciting team. I think obviously they're young, just like some of these other teams that are pushing their way into the East. But I love Paolo. I love Cole Anthony. I love Franz. I mean, they got some good talent. It's too soon. It's just way too soon. And for them, maybe they could have beat a team as the Knicks. I could have seen them. That would kind of make a little more sense. But the Celtics, I mean, the defending champs, they're not going out in the first round of the matchup in the playoffs. I'm gonna have another sweep here. Celtics in 4. As much as I don't like to say it, this team is, I totally lied when I said the Knicks had the best starting 5 because the Celtics have the best starting 5 by far. Yeah, I said it, Evan, if you're listening. I mean, Jesus, it's so hard to say anything good about the Celtics all year because it's just like, this is a team of it's like Tatum, he's like trying so hard to be the face of the league, and like I just don't see it, But they won last year. They won it all last year, and they have the best. Or I think the Thunder have the best odds, but they definitely have the second best odds, to come out and win it all again. I think Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and then you got Porzingis, Horford in there. It's just like this roster's stacked, and that's not even saying Pritchard. It's like this team is going to win it in 4. Do I think they're going to do it again this year? They're going to get to the championship, but that can be talked about later. They're going to win it in 4.
Sure. I don't think they're going to win it in 4. I don't think they're going to win it in 4 at all. I mean, they totally can, but last season the Magic literally took the Cavs to 7 games, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like, and this is a Celtics team that isn't known for, I guess, I think there's a little Warriors bias in me coming out right now. But I was going to say for finishing the job cleanly. Um I think the C's win comfortably. I could definitely see. I think Orlando definitely gets a game, maybe 2, but not really anything worth talking about. I think the C's do move on for the rest of their future. I don't know if they make it to the championship. I don't know if we want to keep talking about that
Yeah,
either.
no, it's up to you. This is a game time decision. We could let's do it. Let's do it, but let's do it like I'll just give all my predictions real quick. We don't even have to say anything, and then boom, and then we can talk about the finals matchup a little bit if we want.
All
Let's
right,
do it
hold on.
quick.
I don't think anyone's probably like this. Just seems like a live stream thing. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
check the mobile really quick or
yeah,
bring it
that's
over.
fine. Nah, I love it. I mean, we're 30 minutes, 35 minutes deep. If you're paying attention still, totally appreciate you. I mean, we're literally just making content talking basketball right now. So,
Yeah.
it don't got to be perfect. I'm
All
going to
good.
just
Just
kind of
got
give
some missed calls from the lads. Waiting
yeah,
up on a Thursday night. We're good. Nothing.
priorities. We got our priorities straight. Let's go. I'm going to give my whole West prediction, and then you give your West, and then we'll do East, East.
Let's just. How about you talk and I'll tell you where I
Okay.
disagree, and then we can
Okay.
talk.
Okay. Well, I guess the first disagreement we have was I had the Nuggets losing. So I
Right.
have Clippers
So
versus Thunder, I believe. Is that how it?
yeah,
Oh wait, we
that's
totally.
how I've
Yeah, I guess that is how it would work. I'm gonna take the Thunder. I'm gonna take the Thunder in 7. I think this is the year that they've proven that they are deep and they're definitely a team to beat right now. Do I think they'll make it all the way? I don't know. You'll have to find out. I'm gonna have the Thunder beating the Clippers, and then under that we got the Warriors and the Lakers, which oh my
Whew.
god is gonna be so awesome to watch because hopefully I should still be here for most of it, but wow, LeBron versus Curry once again. This game is going to go to 7 games, and the series is going to go to 7 games, and it's going to be It's going to be like pure entertainment from
Just say
everyone.
fucking awesome because it's gonna be fucking
It's going to
awesome.
be awesome, and I'm going to do it. I'm taking my Lakers in 7 games, winning in crypto. I just think I really like the matchup because both teams play small ball, obviously, and the experience, the talent now with Luca. I just think the Lakers have too much. If it's not LeBron, it's going to be Luca, and Luca, as we've seen last year, brought the Mavs to the finals like pretty much on his own. Like he has too much, and obviously has so much to prove this season with the trade and all that. And I just think that's the type of script. It's the type of script. I'm assuming you're going to go the opposite way.
Yeah, I mean, starting from the top, um, I do have OKC beating I'm sorry, I have them beating the Nuggets
Yeah.
in 7 in a tough 7. I do if the Clippers beat the Nuggets though, I have them winning in like 5. Honestly, like
Okay.
I think the Nuggets are not a good matchup for anyone because they got Jokic, but like I think they would match up so well, and I think Shea, being traded from the Clippers and all that, whoo,
That
we
would be
have a
cool.
field day with them. But yeah, going to the bottom part of the bracket, um, yeah, I'm gonna take my Warriors in 7. Um, I just think I'm not gonna lie. Like the Lakers definitely have a better team, 100%. That being said, like we've seen a situation almost a decade ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago ish, um, where
Where the Warriors
Golden State Warriors
lost
had
3-1 series.
the much better team. You know what I mean? And I just think it's the narrative. It's time for Curry to like be the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like LeBron was always the freaking bad guy. And I think the Warriors are heading to the Western Conference Finals.
That's a great take, and if that happens, that's going to be must see TV. So I'm praying on a Lakers Warriors series. Okay, sweet. And then coming out of the West in that game, I would have Lakers Thunder, and I think this is where the experience shows for the Thunder. I think it's so funny to say, but I really do. I really do believe it, man. As much as I am a Lakers fan, I do believe it. Y'all could think I'm delusional if this doesn't happen, but once it does happen, again, I told y'all so. I just think the experience in a 7 game series, the trio the Lakers have, the Thunder are just too young. As much as I like J Dub and he's an all star, it's like I would take Austin Reeves over J Dub, and I would take Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, like our 4, 5, and 6 best players over a couple of their players. So it's just like that's what it comes down to. It comes down to 7 games. I think experience is just what's going to prove in this game. But as much as that's what I want to see, who knows? I have the Lakers going to the finals though.
All right, nice. Yeah. I guess
Warriors Thunder.
I don't know. No, I know.
Yeah, it's
Like,
hard not to be.
I'm obviously gonna say the Warriors, but like, bro, we might be cooked. Like,
Sure.
we
No,
do not match up well against this team whatsoever. I'm hoping, like, I could take the experience card, which you kind of just took. I'm gonna go with the Thunder though. I'm just gonna say that. I think, like, in my heart, you know what I mean. I got the Warriors, but in my brain, I got the Thunder. So
fair enough.
we'll
Fair
do
enough.
that. I think whoever wins that game, though, I mean that series, is going to win the championship.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think the East is very chalk. I'm just gonna say Cavs and Celtics. I would be very shocked if any team makes it out into the Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals, including the Knicks, because that's kind of where going back to the Knicks. It's just like they haven't been able to beat any good teams. They're missing something. They are missing something. Maybe that's a KD offseason trade. Who knows? But it's not the year for the Knicks. And I have the Celtics beating the Cavs. Even I guess it's not an upset because the Cavs are the better seed, but the Celtics are the defending champs. And I just think the experience now and their depth, their starting five, Tatum and Jaylen Brown is probably the second best duo in the league. And that is gearing up for a Lakers Celtics finals, which, oh my God, the NBA viewership is just going to skyrocket because the NBA will be so back by then. And I just cannot wait to see that and, bring back the actual rivalry, Lakers versus Celtics, who is the best team in all time.
Yeah, I think that's some old head shit. I think what we're
Would be.
gonna see is what everyone wants to see: Warriors, Cavs, baby. One more time, this Stephen Curry team willing and nilling their way versus a brand new Cavaliers team. You know what I mean? So much has changed, yet nothing has. Warriors take home the chip. I do have the Cavs winning this series,
Okay.
not convincingly, but I think home court advantage here is huge,
Sure.
enormous. So yeah, and also like we're making this without the playoffs have even started yet.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna get injured, dude. It's just like the script,
Knock on
it
wood.
sucks, but like someone's gonna get injured, and like that is obviously gonna flip a lot of the narrative we've maybe talked about today. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do have let's just say Warriors Cavs because OKC Celtics would suck.
It would. I don't think anyone. Well, I think Thunder in general are still like too small of a market, and same with the Cavs. So I think what the people want to see is definitely Lakers, Warriors, and then maybe Celtics, Knicks. I think that's what it is. But is that what we'll see? Maybe not. Who knows? We can wrap this up because we kind of started yapping. But I think our first round
Woo!
summary is definitely there. I'm excited to watch some basketball with y'all, man. It's gonna be fun way to finish off the semester and all that. I love watching
100%.
basketball, and I think we're just back. I think the NBA is back, and I think we're gonna have some great matchups. Appreciate y'all for listening. If you're still here, man, we appreciate you. But comment. Are we crazy? Are we casuals? And who you got winning it all? Because who knows? It is very up in the air. But appreciate y'all. Have fun watching some hoops. Peace.
Peace.